What is going to happen, I believe that President is going to swear them in after gazetting them afresh. And we also have situations, maandamano manenos. It's taking a tribal turn now. It's being concocted by the government as a tribal thing. We'll look at it and see just how tribal this is. And then also, there's a shoot the leg order. So it's going to, if you've seen the memes on Twitter and other social pages, you see a humongous population walking with one leg. So that's a situation we have. And to help us look at this situation, I have Matthew Wasonga with me in the studio.
Thank you, Fred, for having me this Friday morning.
We're waiting for Victor Sankara. Okay. Sankara, I hope he gets here on time. Sankara's, I think it was cousin, was one of the people who was shot dead during...
In Rongai.
Yes, he was one of the guys who was shot dead during these demonstrations. It was such a painful experience for him and his family. Let's hope that he gets here on time and we can have that discussion. He can tell us just how this is going. IEBC, I mean, it had looked as though this was going to be a ping pong until we don't have elections. But it now looks really solid, doesn't it?
Thank you, Fred, at least for the Sankara and his family. It's really painful. This was a young guy who was out in Rongai, actually, a 17-year-old guy.
Yes.
So maybe as we wait for him, we'll discuss that when
actually,
and maybe get the picture. Because, you know,
let me give them a picture. If you saw during the demonstrations...
On the 25th June.
Yes, on the 25th. There's a picture of a guy who's walking with a lady. And they walk, and then the next picture you see is the guy is on the is down, and the lady is still standing. That's the guy. That's Victor Sankara's cousin.
He was somewhere in Thika, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Now, as we wait for Sankara, we have the IBC. You know, Fred, in this country, I said that things are happening so fast that if you blink an eye, you might find yourself that things have gone far much higher than you may thought. It was yesterday up to around 7. Actually, up to around 9 p.m. we didn't have IBC.
Yes.
But by 10 p.m. we had IBC. There was a new gazette notice after the first gazette notice was nullified by the court. And as we know, this country, maybe today or latest tomorrow, will be
there will be sworn in.
There will be sworn in.
I don't think President William Ruto is going to take long. Probably is
today.
Yes,
and you might even be surprised this morning.
Yeah,
they're swearing in before someone else runs to court. But I think on a positive note, I think with the commissioners being in place, it's a good thing because you remember that we have around 17 by-elections.
Yes.
These are constituencies, around 5 constituencies and 1 senator and around 11 wards that have not been represented.
Yes.
So I think it will give a very good opportunity for the by-election so that even people coming from this area, their voices can be heard in both houses.
Yes.
So I think with the IBC, that will set a stage for the by-election and they start the preparation for the next general election. You know, the register, verification and everything. That's something that I think is good. So for this, the IBC is here with us.
You know, the most amazing thing is every time we've had the IEBC appointed, there's been a lot of hue and cry.
Yes.
And, you know, claims and counterclaims, oh, these people are not independent, these people. Well, despite the fact that we know that these individuals are connected to who?
Yeah.
Some are so-and-so's brother-in-law. You know, it's amazing in the sense that now that Raila is in this camp, we don't have that clamor.
The most, if you look at the petition, so those who challenged the appointment of these guys, there was so much concern on Andy Ritu and and the brother-in-law of Junet, was his name Mohammed or something.
Yes.
But again, the court says that that is not enough reason for them not
Yes.
to be disqualified or not to be given their jobs. So I think we respect the court decision. So if the courts think that they are fit to serve,
Yes.
us, it's just wait and see what they can do for the country. And if I borrow what President William Ruto said, and for those who are in opposition, I think what happened is that the president said in 2022 that by then he was running against Raila.
Yes.
Then Deputy President William Ruto says that even if Oburu Odinga was to become the IBC chair, he will still beat Raila at the post, because it is not the IBC who decide who become
Yes.
the president, but it's the people.
Yes.
So I think it's sometimes good that if today the people of Kenya will decide who will become the president after President William Ruto, then it will be okay. So it's just we give them time
Yes.
to see what they can deliver for this country.
So we have to wait and see how they are going to perform,
Yes.
because as of now, the claims, the counter claims, I know a lot of that was said, and I remember the former deputy president Rigiji saying it doesn't matter who they put there,
Yes.
because the ballot is literally won at the polling station.
Exactly.
So you can't change that. So I like how this goes, because it gets to a point, the way the systems have been set, it doesn't matter even if...
Fred, if you look at, it's only that we as Kenyans, by the virtue of our democracy and our freedom, we like to complain and to politicize everything without even looking at it from the other sides.
Yes.
Our constitution gives us that the final result is the results at the polling stations.
Yes.
Okay? If today we decided that there will be no rigging, this thing will start at the polling station. There is no any rigging that's happened at Bomas of Kenya or at the National Polling Center. Because if you vote, the number of people registered in let's say in a polling station, let's say somewhere in Kirinyaga or somewhere in Migori or in Wajir, they remain the same. There is no any way. So it is us, or those who are not opposing this government, or those who doesn't believe in this government, to tell Kenyans and convince Kenyans and give Kenyans reasons to come out in large numbers and vote against the same government. Okay? I don't think there is any way. Let me give you an example. If you look at the voting in 2002,
Yes.
when we were voting against the Moi regime, most of the Gen Zs by then were not even... I think they were still in their diapers, for a lack of a better word.
When we voted against
Moi in 2002, majority of them maybe they've not even started their pre-primary school. You know, they were still young kids. But if you look at the number of votes that Kibaki garnered against the Moi's favorite candidate Uhuru, there could be no any way that election would be rigged.
That.
Because Kibaki had around over 3 million votes, with Uhuru coming at merely 1.8 million votes. It's like nearly double the number. So tell me, how then could someone rig such kind of election? What happens is that those who believe that this government does not deserve a second term should just come out to Kenyans and give Kenyans reasons as to why they should vote this government out. Okay? So that majority will come out of large number. As it is now, Fred, there is a silent majority. Most of people that are undecided. There are majority of people like me who does not believe in the united opposition, because we don't see any value they had. Neither do we believe in this government. We are just hoping that aligning ourselves with someone who we believe can actually solve the problem we are facing. Okay? So the moment we come out and tell Kenyans, this is what we do, Kenyans will come out and vote. If you look at the last election, 8 million people did not come out to vote.
8 million, that's a huge number. And
in fact,
it was more of a protest.
Exactly.
It was a protest vote.
Exactly, because
we don't like Raila, we don't like
Ruto. So at least we don't have any reason to go out and vote. If by that time there was someone that were more so convincing or have got that belief in the Kenya as a nation, then maybe the 8 million people could have come out and voted, and that person could be president today. Because if you look at it, we had 22 million registered voters.
Yes.
Out of that, only 14 million turned out to vote. The 8 million did not. And it's not that they were dead. They just decided not to vote. If you look at the turnout.
Yes.
Okay? Ruto won with 7.2 million.
Yes.
So generally those who did not vote won the election.
They won the election.
Exactly.
Yes.
But either way.
But lost the election.
But lost the election and ended up voting the wrong guy.
They should have even, you know.
They should have even voted Bishop Mwaure.
Yes. As in, if you don't like the two major guys,
yes,
surely you can't say of that entire line there's no one.
But this is where the problem is, Fred, and this is what I'm saying. If you look at what happened in 2022, it's the exact thing happening now. Today, Rigathi Gachagua and his team are telling us Ruto must go. Without telling us, if we are talking about youth unemployment, what are you going to do about it? We are talking about extrajudicial killing. This is not something that started with the Ruto president. It has been here from the time of Uhuru, even from the time of Moi. It has been here for decades. What are you going to tell us? We've been complaining about this thing. We need it to stop. Tell us what you are going to do to make it end. Okay? We talk of high taxes. Taxes have been here during Uhuru's time. Okay? How are you going to ensure that there is the tax is not high, and also whatever the KRA collects can also sustain the country without borrowing? How are you going to tell us that you can maintain the tax collected and the country expenditure, annual expenditure, and the borrowing? How you are going to balance it? Because it's soon to be majority of Kenyans. You know, these guys think that everybody will just buy into this one-time Ruto must go song without even thinking. Not everybody doesn't think. The majority of the silent who thinks does not see any reason. Just like when this guy, Wajakoya, and Bishop Mwaure could not convince the 8 million people to come out and vote. Yes. Today, none of them is convincing, and maybe they can even be 10 million people who will not say, there is no reason of voting because I don't see any reason of going out to vote. The few that will come out to vote maybe are psychopaths and those who have been given handouts. And maybe those who think that now let me just go and vote because I'm a supporter of William Ruto or Raila Odinga or Rigathi Gachagua. Or maybe those some few individuals that are being pushed by the tribal card being played by the regimes. Yes, but at least at this point we need someone to come out and tell Kenyans what is the solution to whatever problem we are facing. Yeah,
because actually that's where the rubber meets the road.
Exactly.
People are complaining about Ruto because President Ruto seemingly has not been able to answer the questions practically to the needs of the people. Yes. In the sense that the young people that you're talking about need jobs.
Yes.
I remember a question he was asked by one of the students from the universities, and they asked him, you graduated, you did botany.
Yes.
I have done this. I'm a university student. The jobs you're creating ni za mjengo.
Yes.
How do I go wewe unatengenezea watu ambao hawana kazi who are not educated. What about me?
What are we, the graduates?
So and if you look at the people who are mostly in the street, a huge majority of the Gen Zs are graduates.
Yes.
So whoever comes in, irrespective, it's great that the IBC is here.
Yes.
But now the campaigns need to go completely different. We need to know, okay, what are you going to do for this generation?
And that's why I said the other time, Fred, that even the Gen Zs going out on protest and requesting for accountability from governments will also sit down and ask themselves questions so that you don't find yourself in the same problem. What Rigathi Gachagua is doing today and what Rigathi Gachagua is telling Kenyans today, including the Gen Zs, are the exact things Ruto was telling the Uhuru's government when he was the deputy president. The only difference is that Ruto was not impeached, but now Rigathi Gachagua is impeached. But if you look at it, they are behaving more or less the same. There is no different. So what we ask now is that we need someone who will tell us how. And if you listen to it, if you talk about the youth employment, I've listened to the interview of Fred Matiang'i when he was being interviewed by Citizen TV. I listened to Kalonzo Musyoka and Rigathi Gachagua. Of all the interview, none of them touched on the solutions. Okay? None of them does not offer an alternative of what President William Ruto is doing. All of them have joined the choir bandwagon of the Ruto must go. The only plan they have is Ruto is going. Yes, we all agree and we know Ruto have to be a one-term. That is what the majority of Kenya believes in as of now. But now the big question is who is next? And what is the difference between who is going and who is coming? So that we don't end ourselves with the same problem. Yes, if we don't come out of that, Fred, we're just going around circles and circles.
Whoever comes next might end up being, again, we might end up starting to seeing the one-term thing.
Exactly.
The question is, and this is taking a very ugly, it's taking a very ugly face.
Yes.
And it's very unfortunate because it's now being pushed by government and bloggers from the government side.
Yeah.
I've started hearing the drums that I heard before 2007.
Yes.
The drum beats have started playing. The conversation, people are now becoming bold. And it's being turned like it's an anti-Kikuyu. Yes. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Kikuyu. I'm just saying because it's already out there. It's an anti-Kikuyu campaign that is being propagated. As in, let's call it what it is. Yeah. Because in 2007, it happened. It's now happening. And we have to do something to stop the country from experiencing what we have experienced in 2007 and 2008.
I watched the event that happened for the better part of this week, and I was sad. Actually, I was not happy about it. If you look at what is happening and what the bloggers are doing, it is not, they are not bringing everybody on board. These people are trying so hard to incite the Kikuyus and the Luos to go into war. Okay? They are trying so hard. I don't know, they think that now if Kikuyus and Luos now will start to fight each other, then maybe the lawyers will join the Luos, the Kisis will now join the Luos now to fight Kikuyus. Because, why am I saying so? There is this video of Martha Karua saying, talking of, I don't know, an oath that happened somewhere in 1969. Why would you bring that video now?
Yes.
At this time? What is the intention? I've seen bloggers, mostly from the government side, bringing back the incident that happened in 2003 and going back when there was some police brutality in Kisumu. I saw a writing in Kisumu during this recent demo.
Yes.
Then you ask yourself, I'm saying that whoever is trying, I think it is time that both leaders from the Luo community
and if you listen, if you listen to President William Ruto's speech, he brings
exactly, and that was so low of him.
Yeah, that was really low because he comes and says, about Uhuru
and
Kibaki.
Yes,
and the connotation is that it is the Kikuyu who are trying to push him out. Yes. They are the ones who are bringing this demonstration. Why did they bring this demonstration during the Kikuyu presidencies? That is too low.
That's too low of him.
When this thing blows up, it won't know your tribe.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying those who are manufacturing this what I can call this tribal nonsense, because to me it doesn't make any sense, and for such it will be a nonsense thing. They are trying so much to start a war between the Kikuyus and the Luos. I've not seen this online thing and this tribal trigger targeting even those coming from Rift Valley, the Kalenjins. Why should someone put such banners in Kisumu?
Yes.
If the people of Kisumu decided not to go for andamanos, that one should not mean that someone should now come and incite and make it look like we are not going to Mandamano because this is a war. This is our Kikuyu. No, it is not. When people come out, when Ojwang was killed, everybody was against asking for justice of Ojwang. We didn't see that. In fact, it was so surprised that majority of people who are so much loud about this thing were coming from Central. Okay? When the governor of Omabay was so silent, he didn't talk. Was Ojwang a Kikuyu? No. Ojwang came from Omabay.
Let me show.
So I think Fred, what I will now say is that we as Kenyans, we've come of age to an extent that we should not allow ourselves to be dragged like some cows being sent to the slaughterhouse without reasoning. It is higher time that we reason as Kenyans and know what is right for us.
You know, I'd hoped that Sankara was going to be here.
Yes.
When his cousin was shot, one big blogger
Yes.
actually said that it's time now. The Kikuyu felt the pain
Exactly.
because he thought the gentleman who had been shot
Was a Kikuyu.
was a Kikuyu. And for me it was sad, because the blogger is a friend of mine. And I thought, my friend, it doesn't matter who it is.
Who it is?
That is somebody's son.
Yes.
Then later it turns out he was not Kikuyu, he actually comes from the community the blogger comes from.
Yes.
So now I was wondering, when the mother
No,
sees this conversation.
let me tell you, when the guys died, in fact, the guys come from Western.
Yes.
When the guy died, people now thought, when the name come out, now people say, you know, when there was first incident of the death in Thika,
Yes.
some few bloggers that have lost their senses for the reasons best known to them, celebrated just like you say, thinking that this guy is a Kikuyu. When now the name came out, now they start saying, Luos, you should come out, look at how people are dying. Okay? They later realized this guy was not also even a Luo. This guy come from Central, because apparently people, you know, when you border people, you say names. Yeah, like you'll find a Okongo in Kisii, and my grandfather is Okongo. You know, so we say a lot of names. You'll find Odhiambo in Siaya, and Odhiambo somewhere in Kakamega.
Yes.
And these guys are pure Luya.
Yes.
So this is exactly what happens. Okay? These people are trying so hard because the politicians of these days have realized that they don't have something tangible to tell Kenyans. And the only weapon now they have is to try and bring the tribal card. So that someone will now say that I'm this tribe against this tribe against this tribe. And this is what I'm saying, that it is time for Kenyans to learn and say that we are past this point. Coming today, knowing that what happens in 2007, we should not allow ourselves to go back where we were in 2007.
And it's very unfortunate because we are seeing this happening at a time
Yes.
When we should know better.
Exactly.
In the sense that when these leaders are pushing this tribal narrative,
Yes.
trying to get it to look like it's when the young people came out,
Yes.
the Gen Zs,
Yes.
forget the goons are paying.
Yes.
When the Gen Zs came out, there was no tribal thing.
Exactly.
It came out, this is what we want. We want this and this and this. It has not been not been fulfilled as yet.
And I think sometimes I'm happy with what our young generation is doing.
Yes.
When this tribal card started to play, Fred, they come up with a Twitter handle.
Yes.
Hashtag we are all Kikuyus.
Yes.
They say that if fighting for this station means that we're being branded Kikuyus, then let's all of us be Kikuyus. And you saw on our social media,
Yes,
everybody trying to adapt a Kikuyu name.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody was now being Gonjoroge. The only problem that happens is that immediately a good cause come, the politicians will now come and run away with it.
Yes.
Immediately that handle come out, we are all Kikuyus. Someone also from the government side now say we are all Kenyans. Now you can see how much these people are playing with our minds. I believe
it's unfortunate because they are playing the Russian roulette.
Yes.
With the country. Welcome, Victor.
Thank you very much.
Yes, they are playing the Russian roulette with the lives of people. Sankara was telling people your cousin lost his life during the demonstrations.
Yes, it was very unfortunate that we lost our cousin. He was shot dead on June 25th at Juja. So even right now we are in the middle of funeral preparations. And again, as if that's not enough, we saw on Sabasaba Day another set of 32 families.
Imagine.
Are also into that preparations for burial. And the government is not even remorseful, because right now is the time to calm the people, give out condolence messages and tell their families sorry. But the language we are hearing from the government side, it's like they don't even care about Kenyans' lives. We see the president saying that you can telling the police to shoot protesters. And again, yesterday, we now see his supporters, the part of the leadership, are now telling the police not to just shoot their legs, but to shoot and kill them. But I think it's very unfortunate because the security apparatus of this nation, it's something that has gone off because they don't wield those weapons just for the sake of it. Those weapons are bought and they are paid by taxpayers to protect them. They have a mandate to protect the people, not that now they turn against the very people they are supposed to protect them. So it's in a very bad taste that the government is behaving in such a manner.
When we see the pictures of your cousin, he wasn't throwing stones, was he? He was just walking.
Yes, he wasn't throwing stones. He was just by the roadside with his phone, taking videos of the protesters. But then we find that he has been shot by the police. And now you wonder what is going on, because now the government is saying that they are dealing with goons. But we've been seeing the goons are working with the police. They ride in the same vehicle. They are on the same side fighting peaceful protesters. They are the ones who are breaking into shops, pre-marked shops, and even burning some of them. So instead of them dealing with the goons, because so far we haven't seen any video of the police shooting at a goon or someone whom we can clearly see that he was breaking into a shop. The only cases we are seeing are peaceful and unarmed protesters are the ones who are being killed. So it begs a question: is the state really protecting Kenyans' lives and properties, or they are siding with the people who want to destroy Kenyans' lives and Kenyans' property?
There's a narrative. I'd asked Wasonga. I'd asked Wasonga this question.
Yes.
There's a narrative that is being driven that these demonstrations are sponsored by people from Central.
Which is that's just pedestrian. Because these protests have been happening throughout the country. They have not been localized in Central Kenya. And even when you look at the names of the people who are being shot in the demonstrations, they are not just from Mount Kenya. This one is a national movement. It's something that everyone has a hand in it. So just pinpointing it to Central Kenya is just a ploy for him to bring out the tribal narrative, because he has decided to play politics with the lives of Kenyans. Because these grievances, they are very valid grievances. Kenyans are asking, especially the youth, are saying that we need to be employed. You promised to give us jobs. Now we want the jobs. It's been 3 years. The education system is collapsing. The healthcare system is like it's non-existent. Now when you tell someone from the village to pay upfront 1 year's insurance for them to enjoy share. So it's just something that the government is actually trying. It doesn't have the solutions, and so the only solution they have placed their hands on is to make it look like a tribal thing, so that they can incite the rest of the country that these are the people who are causing trouble. But it is backfiring spectacularly. People are not buying that.
How do we bring sense into all this?
I think
so that we don't lose the reason why we need. I don't care whether Ruto stays or goes.
Yes.
What needs to happen? We need to have policies put in place that are going to change the lives of the people, or at least seem to be helping Kenyans get out of the mess they are in.
You know, Fred,
Whether it's done by Ruto or it's done by somebody else.
I will tell you this. I belong to the group of the silent majority. And me and other patriotic Kenyans, whom I really believes we will soon announce our presidential candidate. I don't belong to this group of the broad-based government, neither do I belong to this so-called the united opposition, as they call it. The reason is, Fred, these people, if you look at all of them,
Yes.
these people, they have mastered the tribal card. And it is because of this tribalism that has kept them in the political space for the longest time they've been there.
Yes.
These individuals, both the opposition and the government,
Yes.
when the Gen Zs came out on June 25th, 2024,
Yes.
and turned out against the finance bill, it came as a surprise for them.
Yes.
Because for the first time, we came out as Kenyans. It was not about Raila. It was not about Kisumu. It was not about Mudavadi. Or was it about Uhuru? It was about the affairs of Kenyans.
Yes.
And when these people realized that these young generations know no tribe. Because let me tell you one thing, Fred. My son was born and raised here in Nairobi.
Yes.
Do you know that guy does not know Kijaluo? Yes. I have a friend who is a Kisi. He's here in Nairobi. None of his kids speaks Kikisi.
My daughters are trying to learn Kikuyu.
Exactly.
They can't hold conversation, and it's because I'm
I
not
don't know
bragging that they went to high-end schools or anything. It's because I did marry a Kikuyu.
Exactly. Leave alone even you didn't marry
So
a
I
Kikuyu.
don't speak it. She doesn't speak it. So who from whom were they learn?
Leave alone you who didn't even marry a Kikuyu. Me, I'm married to a Luo. But none of my kids know Luo. Okay? In fact, if my son speaks one word, the common salamu, ya Kijaluo, there will be no any difference between him and, let's say, Kamau or Wafula or Mweni. This generation does not know tribe. Some of them does not even have their native names, the Otieno, Wanjiko, and those names. Okay? These people have been brought up speaking Swahili and English.
Yes.
That is what they know.
True.
Only thing they know is that they are Kenyans.
Yes.
But because it is coming out of age, for this individual to continue surviving,
Yes.
they have to pull the tribal card. And as I said, if you look at what is happening right now, they are looking for the most aggressive tribes to try and start the fight so that others will join. And they've been targeting the Luos and the Kikuyus so that the Luos and Kikuyus can now go into war.
I can tell you.
Once they start that, then others can join. That's why, let me just finish, Fred.
The Rift Valley right now.
Yes.
The Rift Valley, the tension is so rife.
Exactly.
It's so rife, and people, I don't know whether you've seen videos. There are videos of people speaking things that are meant to incite people
others.
to
And if
war.
you look at all these
Where
things,
is the NCIC?
and if you look at all these things, they are not being sponsored by the individual Kenyans. They are being sponsored by politicians who are for the longest time have enjoyed the tribal backlash and the tribal differences for them to survive. And the only thing I want to tell Kenyans now is that it is now take an individual responsibility to say no. There is no any way you will come and tell me to start fighting a Kikuyu who have done nothing wrong to. If you have a problem with the Kikuyus, go and sort it yourself. It is not my business. Okay? I was not there. So I think it is high time for us Kenyans. If you look at here, we are from different ethnic groups.
Yeah.
So we are here peacefully.
Yes.
I'm here with my brother Sankara. Fred is here. Why can someone come and now incite us to start fighting? For what reason? So I think it is high time that we as Kenyans and as individuals know what we want and go for that which we want. If any individual has a problem with another tribe or with another person, please go and sort it out yourself. But let us not allow ourselves to be driven back, okay, into where we've come from, the tribal line that we've been fighting for ages. That is why you see today, even bloggers, and why am I saying this thing? All of a sudden, when people start adopting we are all Kikuyus, okay? Someone now come and says that, how many Kikuyus can now adopt our names? So if you look at this, these were coming from paid bloggers who are always against everything, okay? The only thing these guys can survive is when they play the tribal card. And we as Kenyans and patriotic Kenyans, Fred, we are not going to buy into it. And even if it will need that, we are going to lead another demonstration. I will be in that demonstration to say no tribalism. So that let them come and kill us when we'll say no. Okay? If it is mean doing whatever we do, but we are not going to go the roots of tribalism in this nation again. We did it in 2007. We witnessed what happens. We witnessed how many people lost their life. We are not going to do it again. Yes.
Yeah, and you know...
And for this, Fred,
yes.
just as I finished, for this, I will plead with Kenyans that let us now take individual responsibility and use our senses. Because by the end of the day, whether you've been incited against Kikuyus, Luos, Kales, lawyers, it will never add any value to your miserable life. So it is high time for us to say no to this and think and take individual responsibility. Yes.
Okay, Fred, you know the political class has always harvested our differences, because you know ethnic difference is not always negative. It is part of our identity. But now the political class has found a way of inciting members of the society against each other. You find that someone has been living with his neighbor, helping each other for a very long time, but then it comes a time, especially towards elections, that's now when the politicians actually remind them that this person is not from your tribe. But when the same politicians meet, we see them laugh, they help each other, they stand for each other. But now when it comes to us, they want us to remain divided. Because actually our disunity is now their advantage. They want to divide us into those ethnic lines so that they can easily manipulate us and pit us against each other as a sport for them to benefit. Because actually, as you can see from all the handshakes that Honorable Raila has done,
yes.
it only one thing is clear. The elites have no tribe. One day,
true.
yes,
The elites have no tribe.
They have no tribe.
Exactly.
One day you will see even Gachagua, Ruto, and Raila sitting on the same table talking about the same thing.
Yes.
So it means that it's us as citizens. And I'm very happy that the Gen Zs have realized this. They know that these people are taking us for a ride. And it's only our unity that can take this country forward. And actually, they were rattled so much last year when the youth rose up in unity. And it's that unity that is making them fidget. They know that whenever the youths unite, they will have nothing to tell us. And even, it's just that during the tail end of that revolution, they brought in the tribalism, and it slowed the revolution for a period. But right now, they have realized that they just postponed it. They did not stop it. Even if they say that now they want to divide us into tribes, the Kenyans are now learned. They know very well. They are resisting that. And people are just asking, please, just do your job. Stop dividing us into tribal lines. Because, Fred, Kenya has problems, and these problems cannot be solved by tribalism or saying that a person from your tribe has been given such a position or such a position. It's through policy interventions. And these policy interventions are what we need to be discussing, not tribe A has been given such a position or tribe B has been given such a position. For example, the issue of unemployment. You know, Kenya has a youth bulge, which is something that, if not well taken care of, it will bring very big problems to this country.
Yeah.
You see, unemployment is not something that just occurs. It's as a result of something. Because when you look at our economy, 80% of employees are employed by the private sector. So it's the private sector that needs to be to thrive.
Yes.
Yeah, once the private sector thrives, such that if someone did not have a business, he sees that the business environment is good, he can start a business. Even if you start like a hotel or you buy a matatu and put it on the road, and the business is well, first of all, when you open it, it means that you have created employment. Then when the business environment is good and it expands, maybe you open a new branch, or if it's a matatu or a motorbike, you have another one on the road. It means that you are creating even more employment. So the government should work on policies that actually encourage entrepreneurship. Instead of businesses closing, they should find ways of making new businesses open and those which are existing to thrive, so that they can bring in more people into employment. But as long as every day youth,
yes.
yeah, every day when youths are waking up, they don't know what they are going to do for the day. It's a ticket.
I saw something that, just picking up on what you're saying.
Yes.
I saw a gentleman who said something that really astounded me. He says, we are currently importing a lot of eggs from Uganda. And why is the Ugandan egg cheaper than a Kenyan egg? It is because of the animal feed. Now, why is the Kenyan animal feed more expensive than in Uganda? It is because of our protein. Now, why is that protein, and what is that? It's soya bean. Now, Uganda has a lot of soya bean. Per kg of soya, we are buying it so expensively in Kenya so that we can put it in this animal feed. Yet we have land, instead of government using its agricultural departments to go and encourage Kenyans, plant soya beans. They are beans. Nimbosho, zinamea kila mahali. Plant them.
Yes.
Because when we plant soya beans, what will happen is that it will enable us to bring down the cost of animal feed.
Yeah.
And once we do that, the cost of production of eggs and other stuff is going to go down.
Yes.
And we'll stop spending over 600 billion importing eggs from Uganda. It's just ridiculous.
You talk about importing eggs. At least egg is around 15 bob. What about importing toothpick?
Yes.
Just front on that then. Now, I think just to my final take on what we were talking about, the tribalism. The main reason I don't belong to either of the team, when I listened to what President William Ruto said yesterday, that was so low of him, because that was fueling tribalism. How can a president say that? Why are you? Or is he trying to imply that people are demonstrating because he's not a Kikuyu? That is the direct implication, because when he said, why were you not demonstrating when President Kibaki was the president and Uhuru Kenyatta, but now you are demonstrating when now I'm the president? He was simply implying that people are demonstrating because he's not a Kikuyu. That was so low of a president. Second, if you listen to Rigathi Gachagua, this is another character who only thrive in sending tribalism.
Yes.
There is no any way you can listen to Rigathi Gachagua talk for more than 20 minutes without mentioning Kikuyus and Mount Kenya.
Yes.
And you believe to be a national leader. This country does not belong to Mount Kenya only. We need a leader that will unify everybody and think of every Kenyans without thinking of your only people. On unemployment, Fred, as my brother Sankara says, I want to plead with the youth of this nation that actually are the majority, and they are the most people that are on complaining about unemployment.
Yes.
In sometimes you don't need rocket science, but you only need common sense that sometimes is not common to everybody.
Yes.
But the common sense will tell you that it is always good, Fred, to protect the little you have before you demand for the much you need. But there is no any way you can destroy the little you have in the quest of asking for more. Okay?
Yes, true. 100%.
When youth demand for employment, I agree with my brother Sankara here saying that the private sector employs the majority.
Yes.
Nearly 80%.
Yes.
I agree. if you go to town today, you'll realize that a single shop, a container, just selling phones, employed up to 10 youths.
Yes.
Okay?
True.
It's true. An hotel, if you go to town today, you realize that in every hotel in town, there are waiters inside serving, there are cooks, and there are those who are outside asking customers to come in.
Yes.
A single hotel will employ even up to 20. Now you can look at the number of hotels. Now when we go for demonstration in a quest to ask for more, why then are we destroying the little that we already have? Why can't we first protect what we have, the little we have first, before we demand for more? Because it does not make sense for me when the same youths that are talking of unemployment are the one creating more unemployment for fellow youths. When a supermarket, the county supermarket in Kirinyaga,
yes,
that was it, was vandalized. How many people benefited from that supermarket? How many people were employed?
Yeah.
Now you've rendered them jobless. How then are we giving solutions, Fred? When that lady who owns an electronic shops in Nairobi, everything go down. When this lady has employed the fellow youth, how then are we demanding, which other employment do we need? I think sometimes
common sense.
we should use common sense, but it has come out that it's not common to everybody.
Yeah,
Let us first
being paid and
yes, because let us first protect. We know we have been fighting unemployment, but as we fight unemployment, let us first protect the little we have, because it is from this little that we have that will create more employment. If today the government create a good, even as we blame the government, even if today the government create a very good business conducive environment for businesses to thrive, then we go out on strike and destroy those businesses. The government will say that you don't know what you need. Kaini hapo until you wake up from your sleep. Now we'll start talking. So I think as youth, even as we go out to demand for more, let us first learn to protect what we have. There is no any way that we can say we destroy businesses, we destroy properties because of demos. That's
staggering.
Yes,
that is,
and I believe that
these
youths and the people that go out to demos has got the capacity to protect those businesses and know that these businesses has employed our fellow youths. So they have the capacity to protect this business, even if we don't involve the police, because in an area, they always know the goon within that area and the most arrogant one. And we'll tell them, if today ukienda kuiba, we will iba you. Okay? Yes, we can use what President William Ruto says one time, that you either stop kuiba, you stop being a goon, you repent, or we send you to Bingun. and I think the people of Kenya have that ability, Fred.
Yes.
We don't complain about being unemployed and we destroy the few business job opportunity we have.
Very, very true.
Well, okay, as my brother Wasonga is saying, we should do whatever is humanly possible to ensure that our businesses thrive, and making them thrive is not invading them, banning them, or doing such manner of things. But here, I think the Gen Z demonstrators have always been reserved and disciplined, but there are some elements which are brought into the demonstration to infiltrate the demonstrations, to cause terror, and even breaking into people's shops. I think this is just a ploy by the government, because we have seen the same goons working side by side with the police, meaning they are working as a team. So I think it might be a government plan to paint demonstrators as bad people, so that the business community can have misgivings about demonstration, so that when they hear that there will be the demonstration, they can oppose them, such that now the demonstrations will lose the public support which they have been enjoying. They want the people to say that hii maandamano ndio inafanya tunapoteza vitu, tuachane na maandamano. That's now their point. That's where they want to take Kenya into that box. But I think as Kenyans, we also have that responsibility to ensure that these demonstrations which we engage in are peaceful, and we move unarmed, following the law, because actually the Constitution allows for peaceful assembly, presenting petitions and peaceful protest, as long as someone is not carrying weapons or invading private property, I think we should just continue with the demonstrations and now lock out the goons. So here now lies the problem. How do we lock out the goons if the people who are supposed to look for the goons and keep them out of the equations are the ones who are inviting them in? So how do we deal with that?
I think, Fred, just to add on what...
just let me read something and then I give you 1 second each.
Yes.
Marcos, this Martin says, while the president's remark may have been intended to draw a line against violence, advocating for shooting protesters in the legs is a dangerously misguided approach. We must remember that every bullet has the potential to take a life and inflict injury. Inflicting injury is not a solution. It's a violation of human rights. Lawbreakers should face justice through our legal system, not through the barrel of a gun. We need leaders who promote peace and accountability, not those who endorse violence. Arrest, arraign, and uphold the law. This is how we must build a just society. And then I can see, Teddy, you're agreeing with that. 1 second.
I think what I think I can say on how to identify goons. On Sabasaba Day, I was in Rongai, and Rongai was one of the places that experienced chaos. The public, my take will be that the public should work closely with the police. I don't believe that the entire police force, even though there are some rogue policemen within the police force, but not every police officer is bad. There are some good policemen. And I think the public should work with the police to arrest these goons and hand them over to the police. When in Rongai, the better part of the morning, that was between around 11 to around 2, there was a fight between the public and the goons. There was no police. So, yes, there was running battle, but it was not between the people and the police, but it was between the people and the goons. So, you know, amidst all these things, because now they were not arresting them, they were actually beating them. So, you know, when the police come in amidst the chaos, they won't know who is who. They will start throwing tear gas, and now you know what happened. So I think at this point, for us to know the goons, now we should identify the goons. The good people, the community should work closely with the police to ensure that we bring sanity within our areas. Again, youths, when you are being paid to destroy another person's property, you should ask yourself, why am I doing this and to what end?
Yeah. Your closing comment.
Okay, my closing comment. First of all, I just want to tell the Kenyan government to go easy on Kenyans, because these people who are getting killed in protest, they are not just statistics. They are real people. These are people's sons, people's daughters, friends, neighbors, and even colleagues. So in as much as the government is mandated to ensure that there is law and order, they should do it in a humane way. There are ways to go about it. It's not a must that you shoot someone, especially when they are unarmed and they offer no resistance to arrest. If someone is wrong, maybe you can arrest them, arraign them to court, and ensure that they are charged. But just becoming judge and executioner, ending someone's life just because he's carrying a flag and a phone, is something that even the police apparatus should look internally and see that someone whom he or she is shooting could be even his relative. So they need to actually check on that, and the government should know that they have a mandate to protect the people, not to cause harm to them. So in their operations, they should actually bring the temperatures down, because the remarks they are making, they are very unfortunate.
True.
Thank you.
Fred.
We offer, no, Wasonga, we offer condolences to you and your family and your relatives for the loss of life.
Yeah.
And to the young people, as you go out there, please, as the gentlemen have said, avoid other people's property. If you're going demonstrating for good governance, be examples of good governance.
True.
Go out and show how things are supposed to be done. Don't be hired by these crooks, because that's what they are. The crooks will hire you to go destroy property, and you get shot, your life you're maimed. For what reason? And then you've hurt somebody's business, you've hurt somebody's livelihood, you've hurt so many people. And for the police, really, you really don't have. I saw Subarus going into certain places, and these guys just came out and started shooting. Let's think about the sanctity of life. Sanctity of life is very important on either side. And this is not a tribal thing. It is about governance. The young people and majority of people want things done right. If things are done right, you won't have this kind of things happening. You won't. Governance is what people are asking for. Why? Because people are doing whatever they can do, and now you have people who are unable to fend for their families because there's no money in their pocket. And a hungry man is a very angry man. And you're dealing with a very angry nation because they're hungry. They're unable to meet their needs. And they believe you are the one, or the government is the one that is supposed to provide an environment where they can be able to do this. So let's avoid all these things that can lead us to fire. Let's deal with the issues. All right? Do have yourself a lovely morning, and God bless you.